Hello. Hi. There's like 2 days that I didn't have internet at all, and I still don't have internet on my laptop, so I'm making a phone video. I realized that I learned how to do StreamYard on my phone, so here I am. So during my 2 days of power outage, I actually had some practice to make a video that I want to make. It's 3 chapters. It's 2 Samuel 11, 12, and 13. Plus, I got a vulgarity video and contradiction video and all that. So that I do not endorse this book or advocate the use of the words of this book. I'm an atheist. I use this book as a weapon against itself. It's all evil. It's all lies. I'm capital NOT. I'm not a pastor. I'm an activist against this evil, despicable book. Now, be fruitful and multiply. Subject matter. Be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. Genesis 1, verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over it. Be fruitful and multiply. That requires lust of the woman or lust of the man who want to fucking do it, right? So we're going to Genesis 9:1. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth. There's only 8 people on board that ship. And when they got off, who was it that they were fucking? They had to fuck their own kind, their own kin. And be fruitful and multiply also appears in Genesis 9:7. They're going to be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. And then go to Matthew 5. 27 onward. You have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. Of old time, Jesus is saying it in red. Now, when he says of old time, he's talking about all the shit that happened before Matthew was Old Testament. So he's acknowledging that old times matter. Old time, he said, no adultery. That appears in the Ten Commandments, right? So Jesus quotes the Old Testament right there. Ye have heard that it was said of old times, thou shalt not commit adultery. But he has an addition to the fucking rules and laws where he's going to say, but I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. It doesn't matter whether you did it or not, you can be a virgin right now and just think about those lustful thoughts. You already sinned, according to fucking Jesus. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it out. Plop. Cast it out. I'm a one-eyed guy. I deserve heaven because I'm a one-eyed guy. But then I'm a two-eyed guy. I'm going to hell. Right? And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee to have one of thy members should perish, and not that the whole body should be cast into hell. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off. I'm sorry, Jesus. I tried to play with myself. I discovered there's masturbation. Cut it off. Ooh, Jesus is pissed. You thought lustful thoughts while you're jacking off your hand. He's pissed right now. It's better to cut off that right hand and cast it from me. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for one of thy members to perish, that the whole body should be cast into hell. That also appears in Matthew 18, 8 to 9, Mark 9, 43 to 47. Now, what about 2 Samuel 11? 2 Samuel 11. 2 Samuel 11. Verse 2 onward. And it came to pass that in the evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. A woman is washing. He's seen this shit. Sees boobs and titties and ass and the badge right there. But Jesus said you're not supposed to look lustfully at a woman. You got to pluck out your right eye and cut off your right hand. You look lustfully at a woman. If you're masturbating, thinking lustful thoughts, you got to cut off your hand, pluck out your eye. It's better for a one-eyed guy go to heaven than a two-eyed guy go to hell. And I'd rather have just one-handed guy going to heaven, or you're going to be a two-handed guy going to hell. But and it came to pass in the evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. He was on top of the roof for a reason. He wanted a really good view. He saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. But I tell you, you look lustfully at a woman, it's adultery in your heart. You better obey me because I said, you want to do lustfully looking, you got to pluck out your right eye, or cut off your right hand. Maybe you might have salvation. I'm quite thankful that I'm a one-eyed guy going to heaven, or I'm a two-handed guy going to heaven. Oh, I'm a one-eyed guy going to hell. I'm a one-eyed, one-hand guy going to hell, according to your Jesus. But if you didn't think these lustful thoughts at all, you're gonna have both eyes and both hands, right? That's the price you pay. I'll let you do it just this one time. But now you're gonna pluck out your eyes. I'm gonna force you to do that. Plop. I'm gonna force you to do that and cut off your fucking right hand. You don't do it, I'll fucking do it. How you doing, folks? I'm making a cell phone video, so I don't see shit. I don't even see a viewer at all. Thank you. But be fruitful and multiply. Genesis 1:28, Genesis 9:1, Genesis 9:7. Do not be lustful in your eyes to a woman. Matthew 5:29, 30. Matthew 18, 8 to 9. Mark 9, 43 to 47. But 2 Samuel 11, 2 to 5, David is like mesmerized by this bathing woman rubbing her tits and her bush, all that, gyrating her soap in the right places. And David was looking at this. But isn't David in the same family line as Jesus, who said, "You're not supposed to do that. Do not look lustfully at a woman," in Matthew 5:29 through 30. Don't commit adultery, 27, 28, 29, 30 of Matthew. But 2 Samuel 11, he gets to get away with this shit, doesn't he? Well, let's go to 2 Samuel 6. And David sent to Joab, saying, "Send me Uriah the Hittite." And Joab sent Uriah to David, and whom Uriah was come unto him, David demanded of him. Now Joab did, and how the people did, and how the war, and how the war prospered. There was a war and it prospered, yeah. Okay. And David sent Uriah, "Go down to thy house and wash thy feet." And Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all thy servants of his Lord, and went not down to his house. And when they had told David, saying, "Uriah went not down unto the house," David said unto Uriah, "Comest thou not from thy journey? Why then did thou not go down from thine house?" What kind of fucking confusion, kind of dumb shit is that? That's circular dumb shit, isn't it? And when they had told David, saying, "Uriah went not down unto the house," David then said unto Uriah, "Camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go down unto thy house?" And Uriah said unto David, "The ark and Israel and Judah abide in the tents. The Lord Joe and the servants of my Lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into mine house to eat and to drink and to lie with my wife? As thou livest, and thy soul liveth, I will not do this thing." And David said unto Uriah, "Tarry here today also, and tomorrow I will let thee depart." So Uriah abode in Jerusalem that day and the morrow. And David had called him. He did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. And at the evening, when he went out to lie on his bed with the servants of the Lord, but went not down to the house. And it came to pass in the morning that David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it to the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter saying, "Oh, here's the highlight of the fucking thing. That's all boring shit today. Boring shit till get some more action here." 15. And he wrote in the letter saying, "Set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle." Uriah is husband of that Bathsheba that he's looking at. No, he wants to send him in the front end of the fucking battle, the worst part. Uriah up front, worst part. You're gonna get killed first, right? The king wants you to be the head of this fucking army, you're right at the front. I kind of guess you're gonna be killed first. And that's what he had planned. Your King David was supposed to be a righteous king. He was not. He was an evil King David. Uh, you know how evil he is. You know how evil that's got to be. Hey, I love my friend's wife. I want to bang her. Hey, but she's got a husband. Hey, I'm in the army. I'm gonna send him on the front lines where I'm sure that he's gonna be killed, and that bitch mine. So he's oogling this woman, and he wants to bang her. I believe he does get to bang her. Let's go on. Where the fuck did I leave off? Okay, let's go to 16. And it came to pass when Joab served the city that he assigned Uriah into the place where he knew the valiant men served. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people, the servants of David. And Uriah the Hittite died also, just as he had planned. That was the woman that is oogling about. He's looking at ass and titties, but she's got a husband. And he sent him out in the front of battle, get him killed purposely. And there he got his wish. Now he's going to go in on to that Bathsheba. Okay, verse 18. Then Joab sent David all the things concerning the war and charged the messenger, saying, when thou hast made an end to telling the matters of war unto the king, and if so be that the king's wrath arise, he said unto thee, wherefore approached ye so nigh unto the city when ye did fight? Knew ye not that they would shout from the wall? And he smote Abimelech, the son of Jerubbesheth. Did not a woman cast a millstone upon him from the wall, that he died? Thebes. Why? Went the wall, saith thy servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. Um, there's a story in Judges 9 about a woman who drops a millstone onto a guy's neck or right on his head. A woman killed a man in the Bible, Judges 9, and he was nearly dying, and he told the soldier, pierce me with your sword, as if a man killed a man. He didn't want to be known forever as a man who was killed by a woman. So there's a cross reference to Judges 9 on that. Judges 9:50 to 54. So the messenger went and came and showed David all Joab had sent him for. And the messenger said unto David, surely the man prevailed against us, and come out unto us in the field, and we were upon them even unto the entrance of the gate. And the shooters shot off from the wall upon the servants. Some of the king's servants be dead. It's nothing but porn and death. So far, it's all porn and death. There's either porn or death. 2 Samuel chapter 11. And we're not even done with it yet. And the messenger said unto David, surely the men prevail against us, and came out to us in the field, and we were upon them, even unto entering of the gate. And the shooters shot from the wall, and they killed a bunch of people. And then David said unto the messenger, Thou shalt say unto Joab, Let not this thing displease thee, for the sword devoureth one as well as the other. Make thy battle more strong against the city, and overthrow it, and encourage thou him. And they went to the wife of Uriah, heard that Uriah, her husband, was dead. She mourned for her husband, and when the mourning was past, David sent and fetched her to his house, and she became his wife. And that was quite quick. Right after I killed that guy in the front of battle, because I wanted his wife. Hey, he was killed. Now she's free to marry. Whoa. Isn't that some fucking shit right there? Became his wife and bare him a son, but the thing that David had done displeased the Lord. Hey, the Lord is taking a moral stand against this. Because here, wasn't it premarital sex to begin with? Yeah. There's lustful thoughts to begin with. It's premarital sex. And what does it take to get married? Does God consider a fuck you're married or what? Well, if it's in the case of King David, maybe. Because King David's kind of fucking special. He gets to boink him 10 concubines and he had 8 wives. So be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. Replenish the earth, but oh no. What happens next? And the Lord sent Nathan unto David, and he came unto him and said unto him, There are 2 men in one city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man hath exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man hath nothing save one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and nursed upon. And he grew up together with him with his children. It did eat of his own meat and drank of its own blood, and lay in the bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. I'm gonna fucking end this video. I'm too tired for this shit. We're gonna start with 12. We're gonna start with 12, 2 Samuel 12 when I do another video.